Hello there, Sir from 17 once again. This is More Bad Business, and today we're talking about the Area 51 redesign, and I'll also be touching on some weapon redesigns as well, because the game is getting some love and some attention, and the hard work of the developers is finally going to be realised by the player base, as my grenade kills me then, and I don't know how that worked. That... like, I threw that in the air, and it somehow teleported back to me on some fucking rubber banding nonsense, and landed directly next to me as I was sprinting forward. That right there was some next level shit. Like that guy's movement, next level shit. But we're not talking about the gameplay, I'm just running around with the ARX on a map I hate. Area 51. Area 51 is one of the worst maps in this game. Apparently, I have it under good information that this is one of the fan favourites, and I don't know who those fans are, but I'm thinking they're post-lobotomy, because I think that this is just the dumbest map I've probably ever played in the history of video games. There is so much wrong with this map in so many ways, it makes me hate myself. And for the first prestige and a half, I wouldn't even play this map. I would actively just avoid it. I would leave and not play, because the only game mode that even remotely turned it into something where I could shoot people without wanting to shoot myself was King of the Hill. And gradually over the prestiges and the more time I've put in the game, I've been forced to play this map because people pick it a lot. And I just don't understand. And I'd love people to elucidate and give me some information as to why this map is so good for you, because the spawns on this map are the worst in the game. I actively get spawned on. People behind me spawn behind me with spawn protection with their gun in my ribs. I get spawned on by entire teams. I go into areas, kill one guy, and 5 guys run around a corner with spawn protection. I kill all 5 of those guys somehow because I'm apparently just that much of a wizard. And then 5 more guys come around the same corner and shit on me. And it's just like, it makes no fucking sense. This map is huge. Why the hell are they spawning in my pocket? And I don't know if that's just Bad Business's spawns are broken at the moment. I don't know enough about the game. But what I do know is, this is 2 maps in one. This area here that has the moat, the bridge, the tower, and the buildings with 9,000 windows of bad decisions. This area here is one map on its own. If this area didn't have so many windows and actually had some kind of logical, cohesive design to it, as opposed to just random number generation of doom, this could be a decent area, but as it stands, a one-entrance building that can be heavily guarded and only entered from the other side in the roof, which involves going through a fucking rat's nest full of tunnels and windows and staircases and just blue oblivion. Madness, and I don't know why it's like that. I'd completely redesign the entire thing. It's like block-only shit. And then you have this part here with a funhouse of fucking wonky dwarf doors and slidey hole bits and whatever that is. And then you have a absolute warren of maze-like tunnels with boxes everywhere. It's like the Amazon warehouse and Labyrinth did some kind of crossover special. And I have no idea where the brain or the logic or the notion of any kind of cohesive design here is. Like, I don't get this map. I find this map to be very frustrating. If you play against people who are quite aggressive and in the middle quite a lot, you can have a decent time. You can just, like right now, I'm in the middle of it, I'm in the attention, but the moment you break that attention, like you just run through the tunnels again, run through the maze. It's like I'm playing Metro with the darkness turned off, you know? We turned off all the shadows, and this is just Artyom's adventure for more Spanish guitar. And it's... like, I don't want to sound mean, because I know that this was an early level and it's a fan favourite because it's been in the game for donkey's years, and it is getting redesigned, which is what this video is meant to be about. It isn't just Chris shits on fucking Area 51 because it's diarrhea. It's Chris shits on Area 51 because it's diarrhea, in the hopes that when they do redesign it, they make it consistently better. Because the person who made Factory and the person who made this are not the same person. There's a lot of knowledge, information, and evolution there. And I don't know if they were the same person, they perhaps weren't, but I do know that whatever they do to this map, it cannot be any worse. It just can't. For me as a player, I know this is an opinion piece, you might love it, that's great. There are maps in this game that I don't play as much as this one. Because as much as I don't like it, I do play it now because I've kind of got the idea of where people go, and I can do some interesting things with it, and because it is such a crazy just... it's woven, isn't it? It's this weave of corridors and gangways, and before you know it, there's 3 dudes with their back to you, and you get a nice flick, and it keeps you playing. which is kind of what I'm looking for the whole time. But I'd rather play this over Canal, because I think Canal is horrible, and I'm probably going to talk about Canal because that map to me is just the spawn trap on Brazil, only it's on like a map the size of a country. It's just ridiculous, and it's for bad players to feed because they can't get kills because good players help them pinch the spawns so they can just sit back and hopefully hit somebody with their spam on the foul or whatever it is that they're using, because it's just like, I don't know what's going on in this lobby right now. We've got some interesting players. I'm in the spawn again, by the way. And same with Rocket Facility. Rocket Facility is just, it doesn't make any sense. There's way too much clutter, there's way too much stuff everywhere for no real reason. You spawn downhill and have to fight uphill to get to the middle of the map, which can be easily locked down by a team with hands. Like, it's just, wow, get deleted, that hurt. That was a headshot as well. But like, Rocket Facility doesn't make any sense. It can be fun, King of the Hill can sometimes be useful, but the players and the map never always coalesce, so you don't know what you're going to get with that, so I just generally don't play it if I can avoid it. And that's pretty much it. Like, I don't like Cairo, but that's not Cairo's fault. It's the fact that it's so vertical, and everybody just sits on the roofs and ignores everything else, and it turns into a game of hide and seek. And then there's the sandiness, the haze. I don't like it that I can't see people at a distance on Cairo. Cairo's like the best map I'll never play, because all it is hide and seek with 1,000 tiers, and I refuse to stand on that roof and shoot everybody easily from every vantage point because it just doesn't feel fun. But anyhow, guys, sorry about that. As you can tell, certain maps on this game piss me off. Don't they all, you know? That's sometimes, maybe that's what they're for, you know? You can't have everything for everybody. But Area 51. Look at that spawn, by the way. That was a nice revenge spawn. I'm glad he didn't see me. This map here is apparently getting turned into what looks like some kind of quarry installation, you know, top secret quarry installation in some kind of rocky part of America. And because it is Area 51, so it's going to be more Area 51-like, which would be really cool. And it looks like there might be avenues to it, because there was one area that just looked like this. It just looked like a mess of checks marks and boxes and barrels and fuck knows what else they're supposed to be. And then on the other one, it was a curving incline that looked like it had a pathway, a lower area, and then a facility entrance on one other side. And I think that could be really, really nice if they kind of just condense it and make things matter, you know, give things a purpose. Like, when your map design is purposeless and mindless, sometimes you'll get lucky and you'll make something that works far better than it should, but a lot of the time you need it to make sense in some way. And maybe this map makes sense to somebody in some way, but it doesn't make any sense to bloody me. And I'm really hoping that when they do the redesign, they come in and they just really give it what it deserves, because I feel like there's probably a really cool map here if you do it right. Because there's some really good maps on this game that I've really grown to enjoy, and they're very different to a lot of stuff I've played, and it's one of the strongest parts of Bad Business. It does things its own way, and I like that, I appreciate that, but it doesn't mean that you can completely ignore decades of convention that exist for a very good reason. They exist for a good reason because they are the standard, they are the principle that you build off of, and you make things your own by twisting and changing the rules sometimes. Like, it's a good starting point. Now it needs to improve, and I wish them all the best. I hope they nail it, I really do, and if they don't, I just won't play it like I used to not, you know? It's that simple. But the weapon stuff is so interesting to me, because there's a few guns I'd love to see in this game, but I'm nobody, and I don't matter, and my voice doesn't matter, so I wouldn't expect them to put them in. I'd love to see them, though, but I'd just love to see any new guns, because the most recent guns that I've seen added have been the weird Hallowed Blaster and the Spellbook. Those were guns that were added when I started playing the game, and those to me are not really guns. They're just a stupid thing for people to buy and then shit on you because they can be really strong when they want to. Like, it's just one of those things, isn't it? Look at that spawn, by the way. Did you fucking see that? You think I was making it up, by the way, guys? Look at that spawn. This map is dog shit. But the attachments. We've seen pictures of a Sten. We've seen pictures of a few other weapons. I'd love to see them really overhauling the weapons every week. I know that might be unrealistic because they do have lives and they're doing different things, but it would be super nice to get that kind of attention coming on a weekly basis, because maybe they're just banking all the hard work now and they're just going to keep hitting those reels, and boom, you're going to get such an advantage and enjoy the hell out of it. Look at this game right now, by the way, guys. I can't even win a gunfight. My team is losing, even though I'm absolutely dominating. Welcome to Bad Business, by the way. That's a bad spawn for that guy as well. And my team is not doing anything, if you're wondering. My team is absolutely fucking worthless. As normal. Their team has some players with hands, my team has no hands. It is a celebration of ableism, my team, whereas they're just a bunch of hired killers shitting on us. Feeding like something crazy. But going back to the weapon redesign, that's a great peak. Rainbow Six Siege right there. I would love to see the iron sights get addressed and turned into something really, really nice. The big one, I think, is the Tommy gun. The Tommy gun at the moment is one of the guns that really needs attachments because it has a built-in Cobra sight, which is really weird and I don't really understand it. And there's a gun from Advanced Warfare called the ASM-1, which was one of the most dominant SMGs in that game. And that game has almost a perfect iron sight for a Tommy gun, in my opinion. You don't have to bring like the Perspex strange futuristic plastic on it, but it has 2 rear posts and a front peg. It's almost like a condensed MP7 from like Modern Warfare 3. That is exactly what I want to see on that Tommy gun's iron sights, because it's so beautiful and it's so simple, but it gives you everything that you need, and it's like the ultimate thing. And then of course the drum mag, the quintessential Chicago typewriter drum mag on the Tommy gun is going to be really, really nice. And it would be cool to see the attachments on things like that snowball gun or whatever the hell it is I've never used. I haven't bought it yet, you know? Like it'd be so good to see like a dual wield attachment on a pistol, or maybe on the machine pistols. Can you imagine running around with double scorpions, like Black Ops 1 all over again? Like it'd be so interesting, right? Just to have a dual wield feature to make some of the guns that no one uses, give you 2 of them and hipfire the crap out of them and chase people down. Can you imagine if it was just like Modern Warfare 2 with the akimbo attachments, where you could literally akimbo nearly everything in that game? Running around with 2 fucking stingers, even though, you know, you couldn't do that. But, like, you could run around with all the SMGs, double SMGs, UMP 45s. One of them's dangerous enough. Can you imagine 2 of the bloody things? Stopping power? Madness, right? Look how close this game is, by the way. 7-5 TDM. What a great map. What a great team. Not complaining, just wanting to commit suicide. But I just think that the attachments... Like, do you know what I'd like too? I'd like the... You know how I mentioned that this game could be better with perks? I feel like because the game already has weapon perks, you could put a lot of the perks I want in the weapon perks. Like, can you imagine if there was a perk that you could put on your gun that just gave you flak jacket? That'd be fucking great, right? Just give me the ability to absorb damage. I would happily absorb damage from explosives and lose 25% HP. Take 25% off my HP. You know, take like, I don't even care. Give me 100 health. Give me 100 health if I don't die to a fucking nade that I run onto because I didn't see it, because it was thrown and cooked 10 minutes ago for some bugger else. Give me that, you know? Anyhow, ladies and gentlemen, I'm out of time. But yeah, Area 51 redesign, very excited. New weapon adjustments coming when it comes to redesigns, really excited. And I'm just curious to see what they're going to do with this game, because this game is so much better than anybody gives it credit for. And I can't wait to share the developments. You take care now.